morning. It is Friday the 13th, Kyle.
Whoa.
Kyle and I are in Miami. We're at this beautiful little cafe spot, and we're just wrapping up NAMAD, about to head our way home, talking about Ford saying the line is drawn. They can't go any further. Upgrades in battery plants and the DVL Awards. I have no idea if our intro music is playing.
Did we nail it? I don't know. Nathan, we stuck the landing.
Hey, he gave us
the thumbs up.
We kind of done it a couple times. So we're on our way home. We've been in the NAMAD. I want to look at you, but it's weird if I don't look at the camera because Kyle's just above. So we're going to, actually, we have the wide angle. So we're just getting done at the NAMAD event. We had a great awards dinner last night. And just, again, another reiteration that when you build an actual community, the speed at which conversation and trust and change happens is pretty fantastic.
Well, what I love about this is last night we were reminded by a couple of people, one of the Lifetime Achievement Awards nominees, and Mark Bland, and not Mark Bland, and Damian Mills and Damon Lester, that like the long time that's been put in to build a community over time that's intentional about community and not about anything else. Like building community and building the awareness around that community in the industry provides the impetus for what we saw the last couple of days, which is a vibrant, energetic community.
You said it.
Right? Vibrant and energetic. That's what it was. And we're like these people saying back in the 90s with 30, 40 people in a room saying, yep, we're going to be here. We're going to be together. And whatever time it takes to grow this, we're going to be committed to it. That was super encouraging.
Just think of the hip hop that was out in the 90s. Right? It was the golden era. And so basically what has happened now, over 1,000 people at that awards dinner last night. And they're probably going to be 50% more next year.
Going to be.
We want to thank our friends at TrueCar for being so generous and helping getting us out to the NAMAD conference, because they really see it's important that the conference gets covered, that the community gets highlighted, and all the great things that are happening. So thank you to TrueCar for making sure that we could cover the event.
Absolutely.
And I got to spend a little time with Matt Jones. We have a lot of content interview with Matt. We've done a lot of interviews at release. We met some new dealers last night. That like the ones that are like, you're walking by, like, hey, I listen to your podcast.
You're like, oh, wow.
I've never heard of you, seen you. And then they tell their story as dealers, as a family dealership. And it just is like,
you're going to have to, if you haven't subscribed to In the Dirt with Asodu, go subscribe, because when we release these over the next week, you're just going to be like, what? These are so good.
Yes. All right, let's get into some news. Hey, we know we have I don't know if we have the trigger. If we have the trigger, run it now. If the UAW.
He hit it. He already hit it. Look at that. Boom.
Nathan, our producer Nathan is just the best of the best. So, quote, we have reached our limit, says Kumar Galhotra, president of Ford Blue. And if you remember, that is the ICE vehicle side of the business. He said to reporters on Thursday, continued on saying, we've actually stretched ourselves to get to this point.
Wow.
We're open to moving some money around within the deal that might fit the union's needs better. But broadly speaking, from an overall cost of the deal perspective, yes, we're there. And despite raises of 23% for hourly workers and $21 wage starting for temps, UAW kept expanding the strike. As we know, yesterday, late Wednesday, they announced they're closing. The big gun they brought out, Ford's Kentucky truck plant shut down. And so the ongoing strike obviously affecting Ford's revenue. And now it seems like the UAW threw their big punch. Ford is saying,
it's crazy. Like,
we
right
have no
after
more.
They threw the big punch, they were just like, guys, we've got no more to give. Like, what is this? So I can't imagine what comes next. My guess is we're like one or two iterations away from making something happen.
I think Ford will make one more concession somehow, and then they're just going to hold and they're just going to wait it out. I don't know what else they can do. Everybody, all the chips are on the table, though.
All the chips.
So we'll see. We'll see. It's Friday, so Friday afternoons are a great time to make big announcements.
That's what they've been doing.
They have
the whole time too. So we'll see if something comes.
Keep looking out for a meme on Shawn Fain's Facebook account.
Yeah, gotta have
exactly what he wants.
Great.
Man, speaking of Ford, I guess.
Segue.
Always. So Blue Oval SK, a collaboration between Ford and SK On, has announced wage increases at their upcoming Tennessee and Kentucky battery plants, with potential earnings reaching up to $37.50 an hour. The wage revision, although it's not directly connected to the strike per se, it aims to be more competitive with the current market, as stated by Blue Oval's SK Humans. Blue Oval SK, which is the name of the joint venture. Their human resources director, Neva McGruder-Burke, said the wage range for their plants in Stanton, Tennessee, and Glendale, Kentucky, have increased from 21 to 29. It was 21 to $29, and now it's 21 all the way up to $37.50.
That's huge.
And hourly workers are eligible for pay increases every 6 months until they reach top wages.
Yeah, which this is still going to be under what is happening on the ICE side of the UAW negotiations. But for this to be like an adjacent story to say, hey, look, we're protecting their wages in a joint venture, which is all about this blue oval. You see the plants; these things are going to be unbelievable. I've driven past.
Oh
both.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, they are absolutely like works of arts. They're literally. I mean, they call it Blue Oval City. But it really is like the land area of a city is what it looks like. It's absolutely massive. There are a bunch of other benefits like 5% annual bonuses, medical premiums, 401k, vehicle discounts that come alongside of all of this. So, hey, look, Kentucky, man, Tennessee, amazing.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a new role, come on down. You might be able to be a part of this little blue oval joint venture.
Well, speaking of a joint venture,
hey,
Segway.
We do. He's
Sorry
we're on it today.
sorry I ever doubted you, Nathan.
The Diversity Volume Leadership Awards for 2023 celebrate manufacturers that are most attentive to minority vehicle buyers and outshining rivals. And the birds are excited about
chirping,
it too.
man.
They were chirping. So if you haven't been to NAMAD and experienced the Diversity Volume Leadership Awards, first of all, the experience is amazing because you got Mark Bland, Damon Lester on stage.
It's more like a comedy sketch.
It's unbelievable.
As they're calling like big groups of OEM reps to the stage.
Yes.
It was
so
good.
Mark Bland of S&P Global and Damon Lester founded the DVLs a decade ago to emphasize the importance of diverse consumers in the auto industry. The awards theme now, as of last year, termed the future majority, reflects the U.S. Census projection of minorities actually being the majority by 2045. So there were 22 brands honored this year across all vehicle segments, chosen based on U.S. Census and S&P Global Mobility data. And it basically looks at what sectors were won by particular year, makes, and models for minority purchasers across, I believe, Black, Hispanic, and Latino purchasers in the U.S. So a couple of the key ones.
Asian in there?
What's that? And Asian, sorry. And so a couple of the key ones, the newest segment was the battery electric vehicle, and they were extremely intentional about saying the only winners can come from manufacturers
that
with
have
dealer networks.
Yes.
They said it like 5 times.
They're like, and if you don't have dealers, you can't be on our stage.
It's so good.
It was great delivery.
Absolute great delivery. So the winner for that this year was kind of ironically the Chevy
No
Bolt.
longer available.
No longer available.
It'll be a new one. Will be available.
It'll be another one next year. And then the winner of the most coveted award, which is the top overall future majority vehicle, went to the Toyota RAV4, which I think is 3 years running now, and rounded out Toyota's winning of 6 total awards from the event.
Toyota cleans up.
To which Mark Bland and Damon said, look at the 5 tables in this room.
Yeah, he was like, Toyota reps, if you're here, stand up. And then a number of tables stand up. And he's like, the reason that you are winning in this market segment is because you are paying attention and you are physically in person to understand the needs. And there's no one more in touch with the needs of minority buyers than minority dealers. That stream of logic makes complete and utter
total
sense.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're here, you're paying attention. You're probably going to pay attention
There's
in your
no
marketing
doubt
efforts.
you are way
Yes.
outselling your vehicles. We did see winners from across a lot of manufacturers, though.
Absolutely.
Saw BMW, some Nissan.
Mercedes was in there a few times.
I thought, was there a Stellantis vehicle in there?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
It probably is.
The Honda Odyssey
did
surprised
well. The
me.
Odyssey was a surprise
yeah.
over the Sienna.
Yeah, it was. What was it? The top 3 were Honda Odyssey, Sienna, and the Kia Carnival were actually the 3 options. So, a great award that we don't think has enough awareness, which is why we wanted to cover here. Because, like, hey, the buying demographics growing, and if there is, we had a conversation. We were having a conversation with later that day about it was outside Erica Bruno. Outside, she was talking about the buying demographic outside of Boston, and I think it was the Portuguese demographic, maybe, and just saying how they are so loyal to someone who understands their needs. When a big group came in and acquired some stores, it made no matter that store is where they had bought the vehicle. They didn't trust the new owner. And so they needed to know the owner.
Those communities are so loyal to the people that they know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that there's just so much opportunity to get in touch with the minority groups in your area and really listen and understand the needs and deliver cars.
Yep.
And from the OEM level, obviously, Toyota's doing something right.
Look, if you haven't been to the NAMAD conference, go ahead and throw it on your schedule for next year.
You should. We'll be there. I wonder if it's going to be here next year because
they might blow
just
this spot
about out of space, which is a good problem to have.
That's perfect.
Speaking of good problems to have, you and I are on our way to the airport so we can fly home.
Thank goodness.
So we got a little traffic ahead of us, but then we have a nice flight, and then we get to be with our families this weekend. So we hope you enjoy your weekend. We hope you have a good time selling or being with your family. Whatever you're doing this weekend, lean into the community, take care of one another, and we will see you bright and early next week.